Hello, hello. Hey. Oh, huh. Well, I can hear you. Interesting. She knows what it is, guys. She's gonna fix it.
Properties. Gotta make it the fee fine. Make it the fee fine, and then everything's good. All right, background music. I turned that off. Yay, I'm back. I'm here, y'all. Okay, so
Woohoo.
now, at least I know what's happening now. That's better. Uh, Now just let us know if either one of us are too loud or too soft. We want to sound exactly the same.
All right. I guess I should talk then. So people can let us know how we sound in contrast. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
All right. Hulda D Code said, good volume. What's up, Hulda? Hey,
Hey,
Sophie's
Olga.
Choice. First time in the chat. The closed horse is in the hearse is in the building too. Agrabina, hey. I think I missed somebody. CJ Dreams 83, what's up?
Ooh. Hey, hey.
Our usual suspects are in the building. Good. 'Cause
Love
we
it.
might
We got
need
the
some
steady
help
crew.
today. Okay, so today is going to be a little different because we're starting on Tuesdays. Tuesdays, we have a little less time because Dorlin is an overachiever and does like 5 different study groups. Mine is just one of many. She has her Braille group today at like 6, I think. So we're gonna get off today at 5:45. There's a chance that I might stay on with y'all if I have the energy, if I feel pumped, and if I do that, I will just be chilling and answering questions and vibing with y'all, so that Dorlin can be a part of all the things that we do for the most part. So, knowing that, we're
Yay.
going to go about an hour and a half today, and we're going to be going over week 1. So, if you're part of the Discord, which if you're here, you should be because that's where we give all the information and all the details, you'll know that we are going to be covering creating accessible web content, but we're doing some prereqs before we dive into that. And the prereqs today are going to be we're going to speed through the WCAG, the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. We're going to talk about ATAG, Authoring Tool Accessibility Guidelines. We're going to touch a little bit on ARIA, but we're not going to dive deep because we have a whole 2 to 3 weeks that are dedicated just to learning about ARIA. Okay, so those are the 3 things we're going to do. And then if we have a little bit of time, which we're chatty patty, so we probably won't have that time. But if we do, we'll dip our toes into the 7 principles of design. And then next week, we're going to get knee deep into creating like this accessible design for a web page. Okay, so that's our itinerary today. That's what we want to do. But we're going to start by reading the comments in the chat. If this is your first time here, I read everything on the screen and I am extremely graphic in my explanation of what's on the screen because we do have quite a few people who cannot see the screen who join us, both asynchronously on YouTube and live here. So I'll be reading all the comments in the chat so that Dorlin knows what's happening in the chat and anyone else who can't see it. All right, so now is a good time to ask any questions that you may have, and we'll go ahead and answer them. Any general questions, they could be about anything, doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna get into it. All right, let me go through some of these comments, see who's up in here. Kathy Coe said, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. I like Tuesdays. I like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I'm a fan. Agrabina said, hey, all. Hey, Agrabina. CJ Dream says hi. Sophie's Choice said, I am an accessibility expert from Belgium. Love that you do these study streams. Wow, Belgium. I've never been there. That's really cool. What kind of accessibility expert are, like, what do you do, Sophie? Robodom's in the house, y'all. Every time I see Robodom, I don't know, I just get happy. Robodom says, hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Sophie's Choice asks, is this for CPAC or WAS? So this is for WAS. If you want to learn about the CPAC and do a full 8-week study with us, it's all on YouTube. I'll put it in the chat. Usually when Liz is in here, she does all the links and she does them really fast, which reminds me, and Dorlin, don't let me forget, we got to talk about Liz's open source project that she did for this group. It's amazing. The fact that she did it. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so cool.
No joke.
She made an entire web page for us, is what she did essentially. And it's open source, so any one of us can work on it. And we've been talking about possibly using that project to work on some stuff together. Let's see, Africa, Kenya. I'm just looking for this web accessibility stream. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the chat. This is the playlist for the web accessibility streams, and it has everything in there. Here's the link. Save that. All right, I'm going to read a little bit more. So yes, this is for the WAS. The difference between this season 2 stream and season 1, which was just the CPAC, is for season 1, we stayed pretty on target, on topic, and we just went straight through the body of knowledge for the CPAC. It's basically, if you sit through those 8 weeks, you'll be able to take the CPAC. This one's a little different because for the CPAC, many of us like really wanted to get that certification pretty soon after doing the study group. And this one, a lot of us aren't taking the WAS right away. And it was a little it wasn't challenging. It was great doing the CPAC together. But this time around, we want to take our time. We want to make it more fun and just have it be a little bit more casual. And because I'm not as strong on this topic, just taking more time to just go through it slowly so we actually understand versus just kind of, cramming it in a way. Holda Decode said, let's go. Kathy Code said, yay, more Europeans. Kathy, where are you from? I feel like I should know that, but I'm not sure. Robo Dom said, is it okay if we sit in on the streams if we're not participating in the course? Yes. So this is not a course. Remember, y'all, I keep telling y'all, don't call it a course, please, because it's not. You may learn something from us doing this, but this is a chill stream for anyone to pop in and learn something about web accessibility. We're doing a structured outline and following the WAS body of knowledge, but we're definitely not like, if you're not here one day, you're not gonna miss come in for whichever time. So we're happy to have anyone who comes. Karina Merg said, hello from Boston. Robodom said, very sweet of you to say Africa. Happy to see you all too. Ooh, Coder Carlos, first time in the chat, says, hello everyone from Texas. I'm a front-end tech lead. Excited to be part of this amazing study group of people. Thanks for joining us, Carlos. I'm going to read a little bit more, but I kind of always am flying off at the mouth here because I'm reading and kind of multitasking, looking at several screens. So I'm going to take a moment to pause and let Dorlin speak. If she wants to respond to all the things that I just said. And then I'll read a little bit more in the chat.
I'm having a great time. I'm just listening to everything. I'm happy to hear everybody who's here. It was a great turnout, and just second everything Africa said about it not being a course, and just an awesome group of people to study with. Learn how to make the world more accessible with the premise of the web accessibility specialist behind us.
Kathy Code said Liz is amazing. Yes, Liz is our resource queen. She made
Yeah.
our Alley study page in 5 different versions of it. Like one is light mode, dark mode, high contrast mode, and I don't know, something else. I'm gonna actually put the link in the chat. It's in our Discord group. It's not done. She's still working on it, but I did want to share it so that anyone who wanted to see it could kind of like check it out. And if you would like to help her with it, I'm sure she'll be happy for some help.
Yeah.
So,
Shout out to Liz. That's awesome. I
yeah.
haven't gotten a chance to check it out with my screen reader, but I know it's going to be super accessible.
It's called AlleyStudyGroup.com, which is even more cool because it's like, wow, look at that. And it's Alley with the 11s instead of the L's. So here's if you want to check it out, it's right here. I am actually going to share my screen after I read all these comments and show it to y'all. Just so you guys understand the structure of how we're going to try to do these study groups. The first 30-ish minutes is going to kind of be just like us saying hi, reading the chat, answering questions, covering miscellaneous things that we've seen the week before or whatever, and then we'll get into it. So we'll try to make it less than 30 minutes for the most part, but I think it's nice to have a little 20 to 30 minutes of being able to kind of talk about things outside of the actual body of knowledge, if that works for everyone. This is our group, so if that doesn't work for you and you think it's not fun for me to talk about these things, just let me know. RoboDom said, so cool. Sophie's Choice said, I've been working in accessibility since 2020, done a lot of audits, got my CPAC, and now I'm doing more consultant work with teams. Ooh, living the dream. Okay.
Ooh.
Me and Dorlin, that's our life. Audit, audit, audit. Hold the Decode said, we crammed last time, but it was good stuff. Yeah, we crammed. That was, man, I can't believe we did
Good
that.
way to put it.
Yeah. I'm just happy that it's on YouTube, immortalized for everyone to use, who's going to be doing this. It's definitely what I wish that I had. I wish that when I was learning like the DHS trusted tester or learning about the WCAG, that I had like a study group who I was learning with. I think it would have been way more fun.
I'm definitely looking forward to being able to go back and listen to all of those, since I didn't get the opportunity to take the CPAC after we did the study group last time. And so it's going to be just like this great refresher course.
Mm-hmm. For anyone new, Dorlin is working on the DHS Trusted Tester. We talk about it a lot. If you're interested in learning a little bit about it, we talked extensively about it last week. So just go on YouTube and watch maybe the first 30 minutes of that one, because that's our 30-minute time of like talking about just web accessibility stuff. So I think it's like more like the last 30 minutes and the first 30 minutes we kind of talk about a lot of different topics web accessibility wise. Kathy Codes is from London, UK. Cool. That's awesome. Holda said, Africa getting sued for offering an accessibility course. LOL. We no wanted that. Yes. I don't think I could get sued. I hope not, man. Sued, jeez. I don't know. Y'all know I'm not that I'm lazy or anything, but like I don't want to do. Maybe one day I'll do a course, but I think what I'm gonna always end up doing is the free stream courses that are on YouTube for the world to see, because I don't know how professional or better they need to be for me to feel comfortable. I don't know. I don't like monetizing things. I just don't have the energy. I'd rather just get paid by big corporations who got the big bucks, not my fellow man. But that's just me, and I don't know if that'll change. So don't come for me. Don't mark me on that. CJ Dream said, "Hey, Texas here too. So awesome, Liz. Thank you." Okay, everyone wanted me to share the link. I did that. Hulda D Code said, same Dorlin, we'll def be checking out to the videos. Didn't take the CPAC last year. Kathy Code said, we will be going through our through your CPAC content too, hoping to take it in the spring. All right, so that I think is all the messages so far. And yeah, the CPAC one, I think for the WAS, I'm gonna probably be watching all these streams at least one time each time too. All right, I think that's everything. So what I would like to do is share my screen. Let's go over to the share screen. All right, there goes my YouTube. What's up on the page right now is just my YouTube playlist. The Web Accessibility Study Group playlist has all the videos. This is kind of where everyone will be going to watch it when they don't get to us live. But what I wanted to show you was the page that Liz made. I'm sad she's not here because she's usually in the chat with us. If you know me, you know I do not like dark mode. No dark mode for me. So I'm gonna go to light theme mode and hope that it's ready. It's ready. Yes. Okay. So on the screen, and I at some point am gonna start using a screen reader when I'm doing this stuff, but for now I don't have my screen reader on. That's going to be another day, another time when we specifically go over how to use screen readers, because all of us are going to learn that like the back of our hands, if I have anything to do with it, or Dorland. Okay.
Right. This is, say the URL out loud one more time. You're going to
A11Y studygroup.com. And Hold the Decode said, yay, glad I'm not the only one. I don't like dark mode either. Y'all know what I always say about dark mode. If you have astigmatism, the way that the light hits the eyes, dark mode is a no-go. But that's not for everyone. Like, some people with astigmatism love dark mode, but a lot of people who have astigmatism realize that dark mode does not work for them. CJ Dream said, same, it gives me a headache. I feel so bad. Every time I feel validated. Thank you. Were you able to find it, Dorlin?
Yeah, I think I just got there.
Okay, good. So Dorlin is using JAWS, which is a screen reader. Anybody here use JAWS or familiar with it? Kathy Ko said, I have astigmatism, but light mode is too bright for me. I remember you saying that, Kathy. But this one, the good thing about her light mode is it's not white on black, which is not great. It's actually like cream on black. So it's very satisfying to look at. Kathy Ko said, heard of JAWS. Yep, JAWS is the main screen reader of choice for people who are using the screen reader all day. Like, if you use a screen reader and that's your primary mode of getting around for assistive technology on the computer, you're probably using JAWS because it's the most robust of the screen readers for the most part. However, NVDA and VoiceOver are perfectly good choices. NVDA is open source, so I like it because it's free. JAWS is like $1,000 or something wild, or $100 a year. I don't know, how much is it? It's literally like $1,000, isn't it?
If you want to buy like they call it like a home version or something where you've got access to that, to JAWS, like you're buying that software, you've got it forever. That is, yeah, it gets up into like that $1,000 or more range, I think. But I pay for like an annual license. So basically I have a subscription to JAWS or something where I pay $90 a year and I have the most up-to-date version. I get all the updates and everything. But if I let my subscription lapse at the end of the year or whatever, then I'll start looping back into 40-minute mode. Mm-hmm. Whereas someone who bought the real spendy one, they'll always have that. They'll always have a full version of JAWS.
Yeah.
It'll just be whatever year they bought.
Right. So Kathy Code said, was it like 30-minute free trial or something? Yeah, there's a 40-minute mode for JAWS. So I always say, if you are interested in accessibility for real, or this is like your job, like if it's your job, you definitely have used JAWS or have it. If you're curious about accessibility and you're like on the road to it, download JAWS and use 40-minute mode and play around with it. We're going to have a whole stream. We should honestly do that stream pretty soon about screen readers because that's such a big part of everything. We'll probably have it after we're done with the HTML course. 45 minutes exactly, Hulda said. The horse the close her said, good to know. NVDA is free.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Sophie's Choice said they're using NVDA and voice over yourself when testing. Yeah. So yeah, this is our web page for now. She
And
put.
you know what, Africa, real quick,
Mhm.
something that just popped in my head. Sophie saying she used NVDA mostly for testing and voiceover. A lot of the international community uses NVDA, as opposed to JAWS. Although here in the US, we are very, lots of people using JAWS, like the government's using JAWS, all that kind of stuff. But there's a huge community using NVDA across the world.
That makes sense because it's free, right? Jaws is not very accessible financially.
Yeah.
But the good thing about JAWS is while it's not accessible financially, if you really need it, like if you have very low vision, cognitive deficits, or if you are blind, you probably can get it paid for through some program. So good to know. But yeah, this will be a good resource for us for this specific group because, as we all know, here goes our page with the GitHub, and GitHub is really clunky and weird. If you go to projects, what you'll see on the screen for the GitHub projects are a bunch of screens that are kind of hard to navigate, especially if you're using a screen reader. That's just like clunky and not a great way to do it. So what Liz is doing with this web page is she's putting the study plan up here with the content so that you can tab through them easily. She has weeks 1 through 2, 3 to you click on it and it gets you where you need to be. It tells you the activity that we're doing and the topics we're covering. So for example, weeks 1 and 2 is accessible design. We'll see if it takes weeks 1 to 2, right? But the things you'll need is VS Code, Replit. It just has everything. Oh no, I don't know what's happening, but I hope I'm still here. Can you hear me? Am I still here? Fork.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. What did you do? My cat is here and
Oh, your audio engineer.
oh my gosh. She pressed something and now my MacBook's on. She just put the contrast all the way down. Oh my gosh,
Well, she
she's about to
definitely
jump
pushed
right
something
back
there,
on.
and I cannot
Like,
hear you anymore.
oh no, you can't hear me anymore? Let me see. Cat. Can you hear me? Test, test. All right, let's see. Oh, darn. Okay, you guys can hear me. Let me figure out what I did wrong. I'm getting like the spinning screen of death for the control room that Dorland's in. Darn, she's probably gonna try to call me. Okay, my computer is spazzing out. I don't know what my cat pressed, but whatever it was, my computer did not like it. So give me, I hope I don't have to restart, because it's just spinning. Also, my boyfriend downloaded League on my computer, and that game is so huge. So I think like that might be another thing that's happening, but I hope not. All right, let me call Dorland really fast. She said, not sure what the cat pressed, but I can't hear you anymore. I'm guessing that I'm not in the room anymore too. Let me tell her you're in the room. Thanks for being patient. If you need to take a break, use the potty or whatever, now would be a good time, I guess. Okay, well, maybe if I use a different browser. Let's see. Oh, Dorlin?
Today, 4:39 p.m. African Community. A11 WISE Study Group Accessible Websites Project. 11 student.
Let's see, maybe you can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear her now. I think what happened is my browser okay, I know what happened, y'all. My browser, I use DuckDuckGo or whatever it's called because I don't want the ops spying on me, and it just crashed. So I have to go back into the room, and I'll probably see her once I get in there. Damn, this room is already claimed as somewhere else. Damn. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Dorlin, can you hear me? Let's see, no audio, be fine. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Oh my gosh, how do I make it not do that? All right, we're gonna have like some weird echo issues for like 2 seconds while I figure this out. Because now we're having that issue where it echoes again. And I think it's because I'm in here the way that I am. Let me see if I can turn this off. Disable video. And maybe if can you talk really fast?
Yep, here I am.
Yeah, you're, okay, at least we can see you. What I need to do is, I got in here in a weird way. That's probably why it's doing this. How do I get in here in a non-weird way? You might lose me again.
Okay.
I need to get out of this room and get in there as the director. I see what it's doing. It's being weird. Now we're both in here. Oh my gosh. All right, let me get out of here. Oh, Lord. Okay. Okay, I think you can hear me again, but we're gonna echo. I think what we're gonna have to do is restart this room and then re-get you. You should be able to get on yourself now, I think.
Yeah, I think so, theoretically.
I'm like trying to figure out what I need to mute in order for you. It's because it doesn't recognize me as the person who made this because you're already in there. And my DuckDuckGo thing, I just got to force quit that. Maybe that'll stop this nonsense. Okay, let me try again one more time. Reload. Oh, I think that did it. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
And let me see if I have you muted. All right, speak again.
I'm speaking again.
Oh, God. All right, it worked.
Yay,
So,
all right.
Disable my video so that doesn't take up stuff. All right, let's go back to where we were. Let me open up Twitch again. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Thank you for being patient. You know how it is. Regular.
Rachel is
Oh
part of this
gosh.
group. Flexing on us there. Let us know who's boss.
We got humbled because we got too cocky. That's what it was.
You know, I tried to knock on wood when you said that, but I've got like this like particle board over here. It's probably not technically wood.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, we're
Okay.
in. We're back at it.
Yes, I just want to make sure that everyone can hear us. Let us know, and we'll get started. We're not even that behind. It's 4:36, right on the dot. Okay.
Doing well.
All right, everyone can hear us. So let's get started. Guess I'm not gonna use DuckDuckGo right now. I'm gonna just have to use something else. Open up my slides.
Oh my goodness, headings.
Put this over here. And then we're gonna go to our share screen. Okay, good. Excuse me. All right, everyone should be able to see my web accessibility specialist screen. I think a lot of you should have this link. If you need the link for these slides, let me know. If you would like to help me create the slides, if you're interested in that, also let me know. All right. Okay. Creating accessible web content. That is what we are here to do today. And I want to make this a little bit bigger. Make sure everyone
And
can
in
see
life.
it nicely. Yes, all of that. Okay, so like I said at the beginning, we have 3 objectives today. We want to understand and interpret accessibility specifications and techniques. And these specifications and techniques come from the WCAG, aka our web content accessibility guidelines, ARIA, which is our accessible rich internet applications, and using the ATAG, the authoring tool for accessibility guidelines. All right, creating accessible web solutions. And remember, what I have right now is coming straight from the WAS body of knowledge. So as we go through these, I'll also be kind of showing y'all where we are in our little Bible, because this right now is going to be considered our outline Bible. So we're right here, we're on guideline principles and techniques for meeting success criteria right here. Okay, that's the first thing we're learning. Principles, techniques, what's normative versus non-normative, and what's included in the different levels. So we're going to learn about level A, AA, and AAA. So we talked about this last week. We know that our prereq for today was to learn what the WCAG was and to also have a brief understanding of what each of these principles are. So that's what we should have done. And if you didn't do that, that's okay. All the links for that are either in Discord or on the study guide. And if you are a visual learner and you want a crash course, I've done a crash course on the WCAG 2.1. We'll do 2.2 at another time. So let's talk about the WCAG first. This is our basis of understanding for web accessibility. This is like this body of knowledge is our Bible. This is our real Bible, I guess, our real foundation of understanding what web accessibility is. And the WCAG document organizes these principles and guidelines into success criteria. 2.1, which is what most organizations are using. To be clear, 2.2 is out right now. It's official. But for the most part, the world is slow to adapt. So realistically, governments and most businesses are still on 2.1.
If not 2.0.
If not 2.0, okay? Because the government, I'm pretty sure, is still on 2.0, but we're not going to talk about it. We're going to pretend that they're on 2.1 because that's what they are in my fantasies. And I love to live in my fantasies when I'm not at work. So,
Me too.
so
Yours, not mine.
there's 13 guidelines, and they're organized under 4 POUR principles. POUR, POUR principles. Those POUR principles are perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. So I'm going to put this down because the purpose of this is really to talk about it and to use the chat for us to get some kind of like spaced repetition in actually answering the questions. So what does the P for POUR stand for? Does anybody know? I'm going to give the chat like 10 seconds to see if anyone knows what the P stands for. Saga, yes. That's what Cabral? I don't know. Cabral. I'm gonna call you Cabral because I can't pronounce that all that well. But yeah, Saga. That's my ish right there. CJ Dreams, Kathy Coes, Karina Merg. All said perceivable. That's what this stands for. So what does perceivable mean? Perceivable just means, can we see, hear, touch what's on the screen? If I can't see what's on the screen, can I hear it? If I can't hear what's on the screen, can I see it? If I can't hear or see what's on the screen, deafblind maybe, can I feel it through my assistive technology that's giving me a braille feedback?
Can I perceive it through the senses I have?
Right. I like that. Thank you. Let's see what it says. Let's see what our little body of knowledge says. It's information and user interface components must be presentable to users in ways persons with disabilities can perceive, including blindness, low vision, deafness, hearing loss, limited movement, and cognitive limitations. Okay. All right. So the O, you just saw it on the screen. The O in the POUR stands for what? Hold the Decodes, Kathy Codes, Karina Merg. All said operable. The closed hearse, operability. So what does it mean what does operable mean? Like, what does that mean? Someone in the chat, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Would this be equivalent to interact with it? I can't tell if that was the answer to what I asked or if that was an actual question. Karina. Holdedy said it can be operated using any tech like AT. Yeah, so operable means, can I use it? Right? I can see it, right? I can interact with it in the way that my senses allow. Check, check. But can I use it? So can I click? Can I use the keyboard? Can I touch? Can I get to it in the way that I can get to it? So
can I get out of it?
Can I get out of it? Will I get trapped in it? Right? So when we talk about operable, a lot of the times, to generalize, we're thinking about whether it's keyboard operable because many people don't use a mouse. And the default for most people when they're building websites and thinking about it is just like, everyone's using a mouse. Everyone should be able to click, but like you don't test whether or not you can press enter on a button, right? So let's see what it says. User interface components and navigation must be operable. Functionality from keyboard. So yes, functionality from keyboard, they put that there probably because it's the biggest consideration, but you should also be thinking about, can someone pinch? Can I drag? Can I do all these other things that require a mouse in other ways? All right, the U stands for, what does the U stand for, y'all? Kathy Co said, like, mouse and keyboard accessible for for that one. Yep. Kathy Codes, understandable. Hulda Code said usable. Close her said understandable. Yep. So usable would be more like operability. Can I use it? Can I operate it? Understandable is more like, okay, I can see it through my senses. I can operate it, but like, even if I can do all those things, what if I don't know what the F is happening on my screen? Can I understand what's happening? Can I cognitively? All right, bro.
Yeah, please don't kick us all off again, kitty.
Okay, well, this is my less problematic cat. His name is Mew, and he has no teeth. He will just chill out on my lap at least. He's not going to be too crazy. But he's going to kick my mic a little. I'm sorry about that, y'all. CJ Dream said, understandable, simple language, intuitive. Yes. Is nav where it should be? Can I get out of this? Do I know where my headings are?
Well, and also, like, are there labels and instructions where it requires input?
Yes.
Error prevention here, keep me from messing up and leaving your site forever.
Correct. Because if there's one thing me and Dorlin gonna do, if we don't like what we see, we're gonna bounce and probably never come back unless we have to. And that's for most people. Most people don't want to have a bad interaction. Karina Merck said, can I make sense of the info that I perceive and operate? Yes. The Close Her said, do websites operate in predictable ways? Yes. Is this predictable? Or did you make something that you think is revolutionary with your very fancy JavaScript or React or whatever frameworks that no one's seen before, but now we can't navigate anywhere because muscle memory is real, right? Karina Merck said that's a bad definition for operable. They should not use the word they are defining in the definition of the word. You know what? I agree with you. That is a pet peeve of mine, using the word to describe the word. But let's see what they put. Understandable. Information in the operation of user interface must be understandable. Karina, I'm sure that really made you upset, and I'm sorry because that made me upset too, but at least we cognitively can infer what they mean. But yeah. All right. R stands for robust. What does robust mean? Because robust is something that I had trouble with personally defining. All of the considerations that fall under robust that aren't intuitive, because the first three that we just talked about, in the name of the word, it's intuitive, right? But robust in the sense of how we're using it is a little different. Or I should say more specific. CJ Dream said, hi cutie, what happened to his teeth? Oh man, poor thing. Some cats are predisposed to like gum disease and stuff like that, and his teeth were literally like rotting in his mouth. So they were like, yeah, he has to lose all his teeth. And apparently cats can live very easily without their teeth. Like he's even eating hard food. He just got the surgery. He's eating hard food already. In fact, demands it. So as long as they're not in the wild and have to fight for their life and kill food, they live happy lives without teeth. And he's way happier now. Oh, no, you don't. Okay. Okay, let's see. I have 2 cats now. Please, please let me live in peace, both of y'all. Let's see. Can you see both of them? I don't know. But they're here. I'm using my very bad camera. Let's see. CJ Dreams said for robust, can it be used by different AT? Yes. Can it be used across the board with different assistive technology, different screen readers? I am Luca. I am Mr. Luca. First time in chat. What's up? Robust equal. Can we use the website from different devices? Yep. Kathy Code said, like, is the site still usable without good internet connection? Absolutely. I love that one because one of my favorite things that I learned when I was learning about this is a lot of people are using very old versions of like Internet Explorer, even though it's been deprecated, they have a poor internet connection. So all the cool things that you have loaded on your site, they can't see anyways. Can it be?
Or might prevent the site from even loading for them because of all that stuff being so big, you know?
Exactly. Karina said it should work regardless of the device and should withstand the changes, updates, and technologies. Robodom said these cats are having a field day. Yeah, I don't know, man. My cats are like not normal cats. They're the opposite of standoffish and like just it's cute until they crash my whole stream. All right. Aw, Hulda said same with my cat. She lost all of her teeth. They removed 12 teeth. Oh. But the best part about it is my cat, he was a bitey cat, man. He just bit a lot, but like playfully. And now when he bites me, it's hilarious because it's just like all gums. And like, I'm like, wow, I never have to kick you off because your breath smells like butthole. Liz is in the house. Liz, what's up? We just showed everyone earlier the awesome website that you made. We love it. Liz said they had an AI machine learning thing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I actually have 2 keyboards on purpose for this cat specifically, and I'm going to break her keyboard out so that she doesn't mess with mine. Someone on Twitter gave me that hack, and I thank them every day because it actually works. Ugh. This is my old.
I think we talked about it on our CPAC stream too.
Oh yeah,
because she was trying to get a little too involved with the study sesh.
All right, baby, here you go.
I really just picture a cat like completely sprawled out across a keyboard, like it's a lounger or something.
That is literally exactly what's happening right now, y'all. Like, I wish it was like a less weird way to show y'all, but there she is. Oops, I accidentally unmuted myself over here. All right, moving on. The next thing we're going to do, and I need your help, y'all, is we're going to, off the top of our heads, off the top of our heads, we're going to spitball the 13 WCAG principles. Okay? Are you all ready?
I think so.
All right. So
I feel like this is a test. Let's do this, guys. We got this.
Okay. What's the first one?
1.1.1. No text equivalent.
Yes. First principle. No text alternative. I am Mr. Loca. You know your stuff. So the first thing.
Oh, sorry. I was supposed to wait for the chat. Sorry, guys. I'm all like, she's quizzing me.
Oh no, we have to go pretty fast through this. So the chat. You're here with us, right? So we're gonna say them, but if you know them, if you know any of them, we're not going. You don't have to do them in order for the chat. We're gonna go through them in order, just for fun and to get through them, and through us, you learn if you don't know it at all. Okay. What's the second one? Well, no text alternatives. If you want to learn this for real without us explaining every single one, then you need to do it on your own time through the resources that I've given y'all, because it just will take too long. Okay. So hopefully you get a little brushing of them. The close her said, provide captions. Yes. So provide captions to everything that has, video content. Provide a transcript to audio, anything audio. Provide text to anything visual. What's next? Audio controls. Is that 2.1? I think that's 2.1. Audio controls. Make sure that there are audio controls. Right? All right, I might need to pull these up so I don't miss any, actually. Look at
Yeah, right.
2.1. Oh my gosh. Wow, you just look at. All right, there we go. Time-based media. So time-based media is what we already talked about. So that's all the stuff. That's audio, captions, audio descriptions, all of it. We need that. 1.3 is info and relationships. So this is adaptable. Info and relationships just means there needs to be a way for the person to navigate and understand the structure of the page.
So headings and table structures and list structures are all right. Uh-oh.
Yep, had to. Anyway, meaningful sequence. Meaningful sequence means everything needs to be able to be read in the sequence that you visually see it. So if you're using a screen reader and the screen reader is jumping all around the page, reading things out of order, that would be something like that. Sensory characteristics. Sensory characteristics means
that nothing's in just one sense, like click on all the red things.
right. So what if I can't see red? So don't describe anything using something that would require you to use a bunch of others, like to use other senses without context.
Size, location, color.
CJ Dream said headings list. Yep, that all goes under
131.
131, which is info and relationships. Liz said 4.1 distinguishable. So that would be use of color, audio controls, contrast, resizing text, no background audio, no images of text, and there's no exception. If there's an image of a text that's not a logo, it should be written actually and not as an image. Text spacing, stuff like that. Keyboard operable is a really big one. So we want to make sure there's no keyboard traps, meaning we don't get stuck in a loop if we're using the keyboard. We want to make sure that we can actually select.
Wait, keyboard trap is its own criteria, right? You're just doing 2.1, the whole keyboard one. Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, for this.
Disregard me.
For this, we're because we're just doing it really fast to give you a brief overview. The next one we have is enough time. So making sure that anything that pops up on the screen, the user has enough time to say yes or no, I don't want to be kicked off. We want to be able to pause things that are scrolling and moving really fast, things like that. We want to make sure there's no flashing, right? No animations that are flashing more than 3 times a second. And
You're not saying numbers with them anymore, or are those
2.3?
Those aren't under.
At this point, and honestly, it doesn't really matter. The numbers, if you want to learn it at that extent, you'd have to watch either the stream that goes over it for about an hour and a half, but then you'll really learn it, or you'll have to read it yourself a little bit, because the numbers are not going to, if you're here with us and you don't know WCAG at all, the numbers are not going to mean anything to you. And if you're here and you do know, then you already know the numbers. So that's kind of what we're working with right now.
Okay.
CJ Dreesen, color alone. Yep. I love that one. Liz Ginger said 2.2 includes pre-recorded sign language, a big change. Wow. Sign language is in WCAG 2.1. Yeah, it's in the 2.1. I just saw it. All right, let's talk about navigable. So navigable is a big one. So that just means, can we navigate everything, right? I say that this is a big one because this is one of the ones that we're actually going to get some hands-on experience with, creating pages that have all of these things that I'm about to list. And we're going to do this when we get into the HTML section. So navigable means that there's bypass blocks that actually work, that there's a page title, the focus order is good, the links all have a purpose in the context of it. It doesn't just say click here. It says whatever it is it's going to take you to. There's headings and labels. When I'm using the tab, everything is highlighted with a visual focus, right? We're making sure that there's section headings, right? For 2.5, this is talking about the input modalities. So basically what we're using to select things. So pointer gestures, pointer cancellation. We're making sure that things are labeled so that people know what they're clicking on, right? Then we have understandable, which is readable, the language of the page, the language of parts, if the parts have changed. What else? Abbreviations, making sure that they're defined. Predictable, so that everything works in a predictable manner. So on focus, nothing is changing context when you just land on it. Oh my gosh. Girl, you're gonna have to sit in my lap or leave. There's consistent navigation. When we click on something, it's not taking us somewhere we didn't expect, right? We want to make sure that there's arrow identifications, labels and instructions, and then the last part is robust. We're almost there. We want to make sure that things are compatible. So they're parsed correctly, which I think is not going to be a thing in 2.2. I think they got rid of parsing, but we want to make sure that the name, roles, and values of all the elements that we can click on, or that are like radio buttons or form fields, that they all make sense and match and are labeled. And then there's a few more, but those are the main ones. Okay. Any questions about that? We went through them very fast. Anything you want to add? Did I miss anything?
Oh my goodness, no. I mean, I'm sure there's so many guidelines. I'm sure there's one or two things you didn't say, but I think you got the bulk of it there.
All right. RoboDom said crystal clear. Kathy Code said all good. So even if that was a little confusing or very vague, those are the main things that we're really trying to make sure that our web pages have. There are more things to consider, of course. There always will be. But if you have those main things, at least in the back of your mind, where you understand these 13 principles, you are well on your way, right? Just being aware of those principles is like 70% of the battle almost. Because even if you can't code something to hit those standards, you can tell someone like, this is what I found and this is why I think we should change it, right? Liz said, don't use HTML heading levels to style headings, use CSS. Absolutely. So a lot of times what people will do is they'll put like heading level 2 because it looks cute and it makes it bigger. I used to do that like 10 years ago when I was like doing WordPress websites, because I had no clue what semantic HTML really was. I knew what HTML was, but I didn't know what semantic anything was. But yeah. All right, let's see. What's next? I'm going to share my screen again. So we went over the W3C. Well, the W3C, we didn't go over that. We should have went over it first, but just so everyone's aware, the W3C is internationally recognized. It's a web standard body filled with a bunch of different professionals in technology, and they're the ones who do the W3C recommendations, and they also do the WCAG, ATAG, and ARIA. So they basically, from my understanding, I could be wrong, but from my understanding, they're the group who kind of works on those things and creates or advises for the changes for those things. And the W3C is where the WCAG is housed. So if I go W3C Web-wide Consortium, this is a part of it. And this is where you can go if you want to go through all of the different things that we just talked about. So they're all right here. You can go through them It'll tell you how to get to this level of success, and then it'll do level A, double A, and triple A. So let's talk about that next before we get into ATAG. Liz said the WCAG is in different languages too. Yeah, it's pretty international. Okay, so now that we have a brief understanding, very brief understanding of the WCAG, or a very good understanding if you're here and know about it, let's talk about the conformance level designations. So, can anyone tell me what level A, because there's 3, there's level A, level double A, and level triple A. If I am an auditor or I'm a web developer and I want the highest level of conformance, which one would I want? Chat. Does anyone know? Hey, damn, a lot of y'all know. Lit up. Okay, Kathy, Coach, CJ Dreams, Karina, Hulda, Liz, and Robodom. Yes, we want AAA. We want AAA. We want AAA, but it's not always possible, because that means that everything's perfect and the world isn't perfect. So what does level A tell us then? Is level A okay? Can we, if we get a level A, is it all right?
You're scraping by.
CJ Dream said no.
Minimum.
Karina said bare minimum. No. It's the truth. So where we work and where a lot of other people work, an A means you failed. Sorry to say. You kind of tried, I guess, but you basically failed. If you're talking about the law, you know, what we're doing over here, talking about the government, they're looking for double A. So double A means most people will be able to use this. Triple A means like everyone will be able to use it. And that is so rare to be able to achieve. And also people don't want to go the extra mile to do that, which I don't know if I want to say it's fair, but typically if you're getting audited for web accessibility, it's already too late. You've already built your whole thing, and it will take the earth and the moon to change what you've done already. So people are just trying to get to double A, right? But if we started from the beginning, it'd be pretty easy to get triple A. That's a little nugget that I have in my pocket that makes me really sad, but we persevere. Okay, let's see. What else are we gonna learn today? What time is it? All right, y'all, we have about 30 more minutes, and we're gonna get over to the ATAG now. So typically we do take a 5-minute break at the top of each hour. And I'm gonna take a 1-minute break because my butt is starting to go numb, because I've been sitting in this chair since 8 a.m. kind of, because I had to work. So let's do 1 to 2 minutes. I'm just gonna put my little BRB screen with my vibey music for 1 minute and stand and stretch a little bit. And give my cats some attention because they're kind of going crazy right now. And then when we get back, we're gonna do ATAG.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. All right. See y'all in 1 minute. Go use the bathroom, stretch, get some water. See you soon. Hey friends, we back.
Hey, hey, hey.
Okay. Y'all back with me? Next time we'll do a much longer and better better break. But today Dorland's got places to be and people to see. Whenever you talk about your Braille group now, I just think in my head, hashtag Braille drama.
Oh my goodness. All the time. All the time.
All right. We're going to have a segment called accessibility gossip, but we just don't have time today. Okay, y'all? Honestly, I'm being serious when I say that. And it won't be malicious gossip. It'll be fun gossip. Nothing that will get us sued, but just light, fun alley gossip. You know what I mean? When we have more time, we'll have that, and we'll have our Q&A, and there was something else I wanted to do. Oh, our roast sessions. So I'm trying to figure out how to bake those 3 things in to our streams and not take up too much time. But we'll see how it goes. Liz said alley gossip equal cool. RNIB got a huge Braille printer recently. What's RNIB?
The Royal National Institute for the Blind.
For the blind? Oh.
It's a UK thing.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. They must have just gotten a big embosser.
Cool. Wait, is this one of those things where you're like, it's not a printer?
Yeah, probably.
You're like, yeah.
Doesn't print, it embosses. But yeah, it's essentially a Braille printer.
Okay, cool. All right, let me share. Let's talk about ATAG. ARIA, we're not going to talk about ARIA, but can everyone, literally, if you know the rule, please put it in the chat, even if you already saw it, so that the world can know. What's the first rule of ARIA? Juice mit eighth Drin. I know I'm gonna call you Juice. I have not seen you in the chat before, but it doesn't say it's your first time in chat, so I guess you've been here before. But Juice said the less you have to use it, the better. That is a version of the rule for sure. JMC Sorrel, first time in chat. What's up? They said don't use ARIA. The first rule of ARIA. Karina Merck, no ARIA. Oh, sorry. Can I zoom? Actually, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that I can't. If I put this in slide share mode, let me just make the text bigger. I don't know if that'll help, but this is not, it doesn't matter if you can't see this. Command control. I don't think that worked. Nope.
Those two are the same button on different things, right?
Oh, plus, command plus. Okay. What? I'm crying. Yo, I just learned something new. Thanks, Liz. Wow.
Yay.
It worked. That's wild. I've always been trying to figure out, like, how do I make this bigger? Wow. I feel like a little noob. The first rule, I am Mr. Luca, avoid ARIA. I am Mr. Luca, just coming in here knowing stuff. What do you do, man? I can't remember. Did you put in the chat what's going on, how you know all this stuff? Oh, man. Okay, so yes, the first rule of ARIA is don't use it. We won't get into it because we're going to have 2 weeks on it. But basically, if you're new here and you're like, what the F is ARIA? ARIA is Accessible Rich Internet Applications. It's something that you can add to your HTML that gives it screen reader users extra information. What does that mean? We'll get into it at another time. Basically, you're using names, roles, and values. Oh, I actually cannot wait to get into ARIA because this is one of my areas of weakness. I understand what it is. I get it. I am knee deep in it all the time. However, I have not really used it myself that much as a developer because I don't really code that much anymore. So I'm very excited to just actually play around with it. But we'll get to that one at another time. And we're going to learn all about these ARIA labels. ARIA labeled by, ARIA described by. We're going to get into it. Don't worry about it. But let's talk about the authoring tool accessibility guidelines, aka ATAG. And let me use my new thing that I know how to do, which is, I wonder if I can.
Love it. Totally leveled up today.
Seriously. All right. So the ATAG stands for Authoring Tool Accessibility Guidelines. And feel free to roast me and Dorlin. I'm gonna throw her under the bus with me because that's where we're in this together.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We're not really that familiar with ATAG. Doesn't come across for us, and that is because it is for people who are creating authoring tools, and we don't create authoring tools at all. We're just, it's not something we do. But this is a specification, something like the WCAG, I guess, where it gives you some idea of what to look out for. And it has 2 rules, which is that whatever you create as a creator of an HTML web editor or content management system, like WordPress, for example, or like Weebly, for example, if you're making a social media site, blog commenting features, discussion forums, user rating features, any of those things, if you're creating them, they must have an accessible user interface and they must support production of accessible content. So that means it needs to work with assistive technology and it needs to be able to be used by everyone. So if we wanted to kind of go into it, we can go right here. I think this is clickable or it's not. I meant to put a little thing here, but let's just put in ATAG W3C and who it's for. It's for, like we said, developers of authoring tools, and it has 2 parts, which is making the authoring tool itself accessible and then making the tool so that it can help authors produce accessible content. So for example, if you have a WordPress or a Weebly site, that itself is accessible to use, and the people using it can further use that to create accessible content.
Yeah, like set them up for success, like prompting them for alt text and, like those websites, like the elements are already should be coded accessibly. There's lots of templates out there that aren't accessible, that don't adhere to this.
Yeah, WordPress is one of them. I love hearing this. WordPress has been trying as a community, from what I see online at least, and that's a whole nother story about drama, but they've been trying to be more accessible, but guess we'll see. I haven't used it in a while, but the last time I used one, it was just it was kind of a mess. Kathy Coach said, first time hearing about ATAG. You will not be the only one, because we've been doing this as our job and we have not really come across it, but it's mostly because we're not building things. Let me see. Let me scroll up some more in this chat. Robo said, not gonna lie, I thought when you were mentioning ATAG, I thought you were referring to the bracket A, like what are those called? The simple greater than, less than, with an A in between. So like tags. Kathy Code said same. Liz said, if you create an online markdown editor as a portfolio project, you are creating an authoring tool. Exactly. Shopify's design system, Alley standards. So Shopify, which is an authoring tool, also does have ALI standards, which is amazing and very surprising. I love that. I'm going to have to look into that. Let's put that in the chat. Kathy Code said, always up to hear more drama. Oh yeah, it's coming, y'all. It might not be that juicy because I'm not going to get into it, but it'll at least be fun. Let's see. Shopify is a web authoring creation company because authoring stores. Yep. All right. So we're not going to get too in the weeds about ATAG. I think it matters that you just know what it is, know what it's talking about, and know who it's for. If you are interested, however, I'm going to throw this in the chat. I don't know who's going to be interested enough to click on this, but just in case we got somebody in here who really is just itching to learn more about ATAG, here you go. Have at it. Okay. Wow, we got through that. Let's see if there was anything else to understand. So let's make sure that we've done our due diligence, because this is what the body of knowledge tells us that we should know about the ATAG. We should understand and interpret how it applies to web content authoring tools. We should understand the meaning and intent of the two main sections. We did that. Understand the intent, requirement, and impact of each principle, guideline, and success criteria. Okay. Got it. Let's see if we can just quickly look at what those specific things are. Are they in here somewhere? Oh, is this all of them? Oh my gosh. User agents. Ooh, this goes deep, y'all. Goes deep, and I don't know any of it.
Yikes.
But a lot of it is about ARIA, which we're going to learn anyways. So that's good to know. Standards, guidelines, author. No, that's something else. I'm kidding. Sorry. Actually, was looking at the wrong thing. Let's see. Make your LMS accessible. Why accessibility matters. Examples. Blah, 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 blah. I think that you're covered if you know the WCAG. Which is why I keep saying the WCAG is seriously, just memorize it. And the thing about it is you don't have to memorize it if you read it. Because when you read it one time, if you're a developer, it just makes sense. It's not like, it's like we're trying to tell you like something that doesn't make sense. We're like, consider these things. And the things that you consider, once you just read it, you're like, oh, I'm going to consider this now, right? And you may have a cheat sheet that allows you to like quickly look at it, so you're not looking at the WCAG's millions of links. And if you did your homework, you would have downloaded that Yale, I think it's like a Yale checklist where you can just look really quickly like, oh, here goes the 13 things I need to look at. Actually, let's do that right now because it's already 5:24, so we might stop here. So that Dorlin can hang out with us for another 10-15 minutes and just chat with everyone and talk a little bit more about what we just learned and kind of synthesize it. So I'm gonna kind of stop us here, but we're not done. We're just done with new topics. I really want to hone in on the WCAG because we're not going to come back to it. We'll talk about it throughout this whole course because it is the nature of web accessibility. But let's go to our Web Accessibility Study Group projects page. Okay, and once Liz has that up for us, actually, I think it is up on. This is our study page, but I really do like Liz's page a lot better. What is it? AliStudyGroup.com. The Close Her said, I need to run, but I'll catch up on the rest of the stream on VOD. Thanks for a great study session, friends. Have a great night. Bye, The Close Her. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah. Let's see who else said anything. All right. So sorry if you don't like light theme, but gotta do it. For myself, I'm going to put this on light and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for anybody who needs the bigger text. So here's our study plan. If we go to week 0, blah, 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 blah. Let's see if everything is actually on here. Maybe not. Might not be. All right, I don't think it's on here. But if we go to prereqs before you start. Okay, and let me show you again. So we're on the Web Accessibility Study Group project page. Put it in a chat real quick for y'all. Hold the Decode said website is lit, Liz. Liz said made the light theme cream better for migraines and such. Yes, I love the cream. Not everything yet. Appreciate you. Liz said open for any one of us to add to it. Y'all heard her. I already said I just don't have the time to get in there and add all this stuff, but I really appreciate you doing it. Like, it really has made my month. It's really cool that it's there. So if we go to homeworks and readings, we go to week 0, click on it. This is everything that you need to know, right? It's a whole lot of links. I'm sorry, but is what it is. It's kind of just your general things you need to know. The good thing about a lot of these is you don't have to click on every link. I've just given you a lot of options for people who like to listen to things and for people who like to read things. So it's all here. If we go to the Yale accessibility checklist, the reason I wanted you to at least, it doesn't matter what checklist you use. I don't really care. But I use this one because it has a literal checklist with all of the little things for us to know. And if you click on it, it takes you to the w3.org webpage that tells you everything you need to know about each of these. But when you're in here, it gives you a nice little overview of all the little things. Excuse me. So that's why I say go in there and get it. All right. Appreciate you. First time in chat, 2 purple shoes, flower emoji. What's up? Liz said, not you, Africa. Goal number 3 is to save you time. Real tears, Liz. Thank you so much. Okay. So. Uh-oh. My computer keeps crashing, y'all. I hope that I don't lose. If I lose you, I'm sorry. It's because my computer crashed, okay? Can you hear me right now, though? All right. Well, I got the spinning wheel of death, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's because my lovely partner downloaded League, and now I have no space on my computer again. I could have done that. Let me go to our home screen, and I'm just going to ignore that and get to it when we get off the screen, the stream. Okay, so we learned a lot today. We learned maybe less than we thought that we would. But I think there is a theme in all of our streams, and that theme is everything takes a lot longer than we think it will. And that's why I want us to take our time. But I think we got a pretty solid grasp on the things that we wanted to cover, which is the ATAG. What'd y'all learn about the ATAG?
That it exists.
For a lot of us, we learned that it exists. And for those who knew that it exists, we learned exactly what it is. Because every time I saw that word, I was like, okay. Liz said it exists. Yes. Hulda said 100% does. It goes deeper and deeper. Good dive, though. Yeah. Kathy said it's for authoring tools. I think the takeaway for the ATAG is that it's for authoring tools, and it's literally just telling people if you're going to make something for people to also then make something with your stuff, like Shopify or WordPress or whatever, anything that you use to build something, it needs to be accessible. And the way that you test whether or not it's accessible is through looking at the principles of the WCAG and making sure that it falls under all those things.
I think with the ATAG, there would when I go back to study, I'll make sure to take point of the 2, there's 2 main parts of the ATAG, that the authoring tool itself is accessible, and that, the components, I guess, within it that
will be used
are going to be accessible, so that those authors, their future tools are also going to be accessible.
Right, exactly. And we also learned about poor principles, AA and AAA, when it comes to the WCAG, which I think is good to know. I think poor is excellent to know because once you understand poor, you need to know each principle. If if you rocking with us and you want to do this for work, it's good to know all of them. If you're a web developer and you're here and you want to learn how to be more accessible, it's imperative. But if you just know poor, if you just put that in your back pocket and then put it in your mind when you're building, then inherently it will be way more accessible than anything else because those are the principles that they're all based off of. They just get really specific. Liz said, I wonder if technical interview challenge platforms fit into ATAG because they fail ALI. Most things fail accessibility. Like, we're going to keep it real. Most things fail, unfortunately. Liz said, pour in your back pocket. Yep, keep it there. JMCS Sorrel, ATAG, the authoring tool itself is accessible for one, and two, it allows you to produce accessible content. Yes.
Oh, that was well said.
I love it. That's great. And if you're here and you're really studying with us, the chat is our spaced repetition. So just even if you see it already, you know it, just typing it out and putting it in, answering it, I think is a really good way of reinforcing it in your mind, like it. So thank you for everyone who's been participating in the chat. And it helps me because a lot of the stuff I'm going to be learning with y'all. I think starting next week we may have another strange day that we have to stream. I'm not sure. We'll see. I want to go to another happy hour. All these happy hours on Thursday, and it's going to be at the Library of Congress. And I think that's really cool because I've never been. But I don't know if I'm going to go or not. I might not and have our stream on Thursday like regular, but I'll let you know by Monday of next week whether or not we're going to do a Wednesday. Will it be Wednesday? Do we have to go into work next week Wednesday? I think we do.
Yes, we do.
Okay. We're going to figure it out. For now. Hulda said, wow, Library of Congress fancy. Apparently it's very fancy. The pictures I've seen, I'm like, looks like a grand old place. I'm very excited to go.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's all marble and everything. Like literally the Library of Congress has burned down a couple of times throughout history. And the last time they were like, nope, never again. And like everything is marble and glass and it is gorgeous.
Yeah, fun fact, the person that Dorlin replaced at our job now works at the Library of Congress, which is super cool. She's doing accessibility stuff. So I'm like, wow, it's so cool.
It really is. You can go and get your library card at the Library of Congress. Like you like just when you go for a visit, if you are able to take the time and I think you have to have 2 other forms of ID with you or whatever, something like that. Or maybe it's just one, but you get a little Library of Congress library card.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a library card. I don't know. Living in Washington, D.C. is like, blows my mind. I'm just like, wow, they're like everything I saw on TV is here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good place to be in government tech and doing like Section 508 web accessibility work. There's an abundance of work since it is a law and everything. Liz Ginger said, do you have to live in the U.S. to get a Library of Congress card? Probably, yeah, because you need to show them like your wait, do you have to live in? I don't know if you have to.
I don't know for sure. I feel like it doesn't give me any special. Well, you can like sit in their reading room if you have the card, I think. I would imagine you don't have to be a U.S. citizen.
You might not have to be.
But I had no authority to speak on this matter other than having gotten one.
I think you have to, at the very least, show that you live in the U.S. DC is weird because DC is not a state, it's a district. So a lot of the rules surrounding DC is kind of strange. Like if you live in DC, you're living in a not real world, it feels like.
That's fair. But for the Library of Congress, it's a national, organization. And so like, I think, it's not so much that it's in DC that it would matter. But I mean, honestly, I kind of think it's more like a gimmick than anything. Like, I don't know how many people are getting their Library of Congress card to go out and like try and check out the Gutenberg Bible or something. Like, I think most people are like getting it to be like, look what I did. I don't know. I might be totally wrong. Liz, I'm going to look into that though. I'm super curious now to see if people other than U.S. citizens can get those Library of Congress cards.
Holda Decode said House of Cards, LOL. Fun fact, House of Cards was shot in Baltimore, not DC, which is about 90 minutes from us. About an hour maybe without traffic. Holda D said, if you visit, you need to schedule a time to visit. Last time I went, no spots available. What? Well, that's why I'm going to the happy hour then, because
that office might be closed at happy hour.
No, it probably is. I don't know. I just want to go. I just want to go and see it at this point.
The last time I went for a touch tour. So they have a docent that does a tour of it they do lots of tours, so you can arrange for one, but they did one specifically designed for people with visual impairments who were blind, and like had us touch in different things and describe things pretty well. And it was cool.
That is really cool. Liz said the Toronto Public Library and the British Library were ransom hacked in October. We're still having issues. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Holda said feeling duped by House of Cards. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of places are not actually shot in, a lot of movies and shows are not shot in DC. They just show like, what do they call those pictures where it's like a stock video of like the White House, but then it's in California or Baltimore because it's cheaper and less restrictions and stuff. So a lot of things are shot in Baltimore actually, which is really random. Two Purple Shoes said, is you Gubeat? I think YouTube AT is YouTube AT. I think you got to rewrite that. Two Purple. Liz said the West Wing TV show was awesome. Great use of SAT vocabulary. Holda said, what's goob? Yeah. Two Purple Shoes. What you talking about? All right. We're coming up on our last, I'll probably stick around with y'all perhaps, for a little second before I head out. After to answer any questions leisurely that anyone may have. But I know Dorland's got to get out of here, get to her Braille. Hopefully we'll get some tea about interesting Braille stuff next week. Now that she's back on her Braille grind.
I am. I'm back in it. And to win it. I will, before I leave, this last conversation about the ATAG, wait, what was it? The accessible authoring tool. Oh, ATAG. That's what it was. ATAG, not ATAB. I don't know why I want to say tab. It's been a long day. But the ATAG, it might have been changed by now, but for a long time, if you were trying to put a Facebook post up, which, Facebook is essentially like, an authoring tool, because I'm going to author my own content and put it up there. If you were doing it from a mobile device, if you put on a picture, you didn't have an option to add alt text to it. Like you could go back and edit the post and then add alt text via your mobile device, or you could do the whole text or the whole post from a desktop. But on that mobile, you weren't given the access or the alt text option with your original post. So I think that's a good example that I'm going to remember for the ATAG.
So Two Purple Shoes, I literally have never thought about that. And that is really cool that you mentioned that, because I didn't think about Facebook that way. But Purple Shoes was talking about YouTube, and I think what Purple Shoes meant to say is YouTube like considered something that would fall under ATAG? And the answer to that is yes, because it's an authoring tool for video for video, for people who are creating video content. So if I am blind or if I am deaf or any of those things that would require me using assistive technology, can I use my assistive technology to upload the things that I have created? And I know that that's one of those things that makes people's heads spin, like, oh my gosh, blind people use the web and like make YouTube videos and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, they do. It may not be that strange now, because if you're here, it probably isn't. But for a lot of people, they just don't think about the fact that people are using these tools in a different way. Maybe they're listening to a screen reader or they're reading captions or all that stuff. I'm going to interrupt what I'm saying to ask this question that Liz asked, which is, Dorlin, how accessible is LinkedIn for you personally? She also said that she has a Toronto JS Code buddy club at 6:30 that you have to jump on. Totally chill and open to anyone. Thanks for the invite. Holda said, haha, Africa is so funny the way you dramatize that. I don't even remember what I dramatized, but thank you. Okay, LinkedIn. Yes, I love that we're talking about LinkedIn. And yes, please share the link, Liz. Thank you. I'm happy that we're talking about LinkedIn. Oh man, I wish you didn't have to leave, because now I'm just like, oh, LinkedIn. We don't know yet, but we're about to find out, y'all, because Dorlin she's popping. I don't know if y'all know that. Dorlin is like famous apparently, because people will reach out to me and then talk about Dorlin. And I'm like, well, what about me? Dorlin's so amazing. I'm like, damn, she is though. So we're gonna fix or recreate Dorlin's LinkedIn so that people can actually reach out to her and not just reach out to me. Because the people want to hear from you and see from you and whatever from you. So we might, who knows, maybe we'll do it live. We're trying to figure out how to do more streams where we're actually using a screen reader and going through things so people understand what a screen reader user is seeing and it has to go through, because most of these things are not accessible. So I think CJ Dream said, I searched for you on LinkedIn, Dorlin. Dorlin will show up. I don't know if you want to put your last name out there, Dorlin. I don't particularly put my last name out there. But now I don't know how many other
Dorlins are out there. Like, if you Google me, you can probably find me.
Yeah, you can.
I made a LinkedIn profile way back when I was in college to try and get some job that I did not get, and it has not been updated since like the whatever 2000 year that was.
Yeah, so we're gonna update it, if not make her a totally new one. Robodom said that would be amazing to see a stream on screen readers. We're doing that stream ASAP, and it's gonna literally be a part of what we do for each stream. I think it's important. I think we should have a 15-minute roast session on something, just using a screen reader every time we do a stream. But we're definitely gonna have one dedicated stream just about how to use a screen reader. We're gonna use different ones. Dorlin's gonna share her screen. And we're going to go through a few things. So we're going to get together on when that's going to be and let y'all know, because a few people have asked and we're itching to do it. Holiday said, even on LinkedIn, no last name, Africa. Oh, if you have any last comments or questions for Dorlin, please put them in the chat. She's got to run. But I'll be here, I'm going to say until 6, unless the chat gets quiet. And when Dorlin leaves, we'll talk about just some logistics and messing around stuff. Liz said, try using a screen reader on a home design shop tool like IKEA's Furniture Builder. That's interesting. I don't know how that would even work. That actually just sounds like it will not work at all.
Where there's a will, though, there's a way. I feel like it could be written well. They've got like alt text on origami out there. It's like, it can be done. Okay. But I will check that out, actually. And real quick, Liz, I haven't checked out LinkedIn personally to see the accessibility. I've heard it's not awesome, but we're going to find out firsthand. And then I will report back next week and let you know.
Yeah. Holda said, even LinkedIn, no last name Africa. I've given up on not putting my last name out on the internet because I did a bunch of public speaking where I used my real name, and now you can just Google my name and find me. I'm real spicy on Twitter and social media, so I didn't want like professional people finding me, my name, and then it being linked to my social media. So that's why I haven't used it, but you can find me on LinkedIn. Africa Mincy. I'll put it in the chat because at this point I don't even care. I'm just like, it is what it is. This is who I am. If you don't like it, then don't hire me. But yeah, if you just look up Africa, I'm not gonna put my browser is frozen, y'all. I got the spinning wheel of death and I'm scared if I touch anything it's gonna mess up, so I'm not going to. But I put my name in the chat. If you look me up, actually, yes, please follow me on LinkedIn and if you're here, just request to connect and then put in the message like, I follow your stream, and I will definitely connect with you. I'm a little bit selective on LinkedIn about I'll let you know, you can follow me on LinkedIn, but connecting, I'm like, I don't want to connect with someone I don't have any ties to, just to not clutter my stuff up. But anyone here, y'all are my homie. If you're here, you're my homie. I hope you know that.
Well, I'm your homie, but I'm out. I gotta go get to Braille learning. Bye, guys.
We'll see you next week.
This was fun. Sounds great.
Have fun in your Braille call.
Yay, always. Bye.
All right, I'm gonna change this to my regular big one. I might not have a regular big one. Whatever. I'm here though. It's just me. It feels so lonely without Dorlin. I'm like, now I'm codependent when it comes to streaming, y'all. Can I do this by myself? I don't know. Okay. So with our last about 10 minutes, if not 5 minutes, let's talk about what's going to happen next week. And I will answer any general questions anyone has. So next week, I keep forgetting that everything's frozen. I'm too scared to touch anything. So I don't have anything to refer to. Actually, let me use my phone. Next week, we're going to go over specifically accessible design. So we're learning everything design related and the 7 principles of design. If you were here for the CPAC last season 1 with the CPAC study group, you know all 7 already. It's going to be a refresher. But for those who don't know it, we're going to go through it. Not in super great detail. Certain things we won't go into in super great detail, and I will just kind of rely on the fact that if you really are taking the course, that you will do your due diligence and really study the really specific things. So we'll lightly touch it, but we'll also leave resources for those who want to get deep in the weeds on each principle. So we'll lightly brush through it and try to get through accessible design in that one sitting, because that'll be week 2 of trying to do accessible design. And then after that, that's when it gets real. That's when it's keys, hands on the keyboard, and we're going to start coding. We're going to start really easy and nice and soft with some HTML, some beautiful, relaxing HTML. No CSS, no JavaScript. We're just going to build a skeleton OG 1996 web page semantically that can be used with a screen reader. Vanilla AF, like Liz said, lots of vanilla. Yep. All right, any other questions, comments, or concerns before we wrap it up and get out of here? Robo said the classics. I love it. You know what I love about HTML and developers, especially our nice little software engineers. Everyone's like, oh, HTML, I don't even need to learn it. It's fine. And then you're like, but I can't use your website, bro. All you had to do was make a button. You didn't have to like do what you just did to make a button. You could have just put button You know what I mean? You could have just used the element. You just use it. Don't put on click. No, we don't need it. Liz said, I'm working on a tech talk. Would love to run it by people before going live in person on February 8th. So I remember Jamil, who is not as active now because Jamil, I think, got a job, which is awesome. But Jamil also did the same thing. So what you could do, Liz, if you have a PowerPoint, you can put it in Discord and I'll look at it and I'm sure someone else will look at it. Yeah, I don't know if I was supposed to say that out loud on stream, but if you're still here, you're probably part of the OG crew who knows already, or it's okay if you know. But we're very, very proud, very, very proud that they did it. Yes, that's exactly what we want for everyone. Also, my job's hiring if anyone's in the DC area, just saying. Liz said designing PowerPoint and Figma now. Yeah. So when you're done with the PowerPoint, drop it in there. I'll look at it. I'm sure someone else will look at it and we'll give you some feedback. Very, very happy to look at that. PowerPoint has auto captions now. Wow. Wow. I've been using Google Slides, honestly. JMC Sorrel, I would love to look at it with you, Liz. Thanks for putting this community together, Africa. No, thank y'all for being here. I still can't believe that people care enough to watch us talk about accessibility for like hours. So it's very exciting for us. We're very happy to be here. Very happy. And thank you for like making this community what it is, because it really is fun. Like I look forward to doing these streams. And before, when I was doing the streams, before I was doing specifically like for this community streams, I was doing streams on other things, like just learning how to code and stuff. And I kind of dreaded it because it was just like, I don't know, it's kind of nerve wracking in a way, but this just feels like actually fun. Karina asked, did you have any alley testing experience when you got your current job? Did I? I did on my own time for other people, for a long time before I started. Did I have a job that was specifically just doing testing? No, but, for those who don't know, I do coffee chats, and if you want to have a coffee chat with me, I talk about all the things that I did before I got my job and how I got my job, in great detail in a way that's very candid that I don't want to do now. But no, I didn't have a job in 508 auditing before this. I was an occupational therapist, and I did that for like 8 years. And I worked with people with disabilities doing like assistive technology and stuff like that. And then I quit because I burnt out. And then I started learning about web accessibility specifically, and I just started testing everything. I learned about it. I memorized everything, did everything on my own, and then just started testing web pages, to the point where I got really good at it and did a lot of interviews and killed all the other interviews because I'd been doing it for like a year on my own. That's kind of how that happened. Robo said, a streamer I follow uses the CC feature on MS PowerPoint where he streams. Works very well, captures everything he says. So one of my goals, and y'all know that I'm just trying to hold it together, right? As far as streaming goes, I would really like to have automatic captions, and there's a few ways to do it, but I just haven't done it yet. But we're getting there. First, I just want the audio to work consistently. You feel me? Except for swearing, I love that it doesn't put the swear words in there. That's kind of good. Kathy Gold said, glad you're having fun too. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. CJ said, I saw your GitHub repository for VS Code video. It was really helpful. Oh my God. If you saw my GitHub repo, oh Jesus. That's when I was first learning how to use GitHub. And I literally would cry trying to use the command line for it, like actual tears. And got mentored, and now I can use the command line, and I do not do it the way that I put it on there on YouTube, but it does help a lot of people. That was just when I was like a super newbie, but now I know how to use the command line. I'm very proud of myself about that. Robo said burning out in the therapy medical field is very real. Yeah. Robo, don't tell me, are you from the therapy/medical field? Let me find out. Karina said, just looking into ways to use the TT certification, given that I'm new to this. I used to be a teacher and had been mindful of accessibility for a long time, but not in a testing sites kind of way. Karina, if you're a teacher, basically, I just put this on LinkedIn and on Twitter. Every year I kind of open up my schedule to do coffee chats specifically for teachers and therapists. Career switching. So if you ever want, I don't know if you've already reached out to me. If you did, I'm sorry. But if you want to do a coffee chat and talk about this in depth, I'm very happy to. Because specifically for teachers and for people coming from healthcare, getting into web accessibility, you have way more of a leg up. And I can give you the blueprint on exactly how to do that. It's one of my favorite things to talk about because I was able to do it, and I followed a really specific path, and other people are either following or have followed my same path and gotten out of teaching or therapy. The path is hard and the path is long, but if you do it, you will be employed. Liz said yes, and an education ex-teacher here. Yep, Liz is an ex-teacher. We have a lot of ex-teachers, ex-physical therapists, ex-occupational therapists, all of them in our group. I think it's pretty easy for us to kind of fall into web accessibility down that rabbit hole and be very good at it because it's a part of what we were kind of already doing, serving the community. It's meaningful work. Not former ex broke up with it. Whatever you want to call it. I'm like, hey, I don't know. Uh-oh. Jeez, that's my cat over here as usual. Wait, Robo, did we talk about this? Robo, can we do a coffee chat, please? Oh my God. So Robo said, I'm an occupational therapist once a week. Have we what? I don't know if you told me this already. And if you did, I am so sorry. But yeah, I would like to have a coffee chat with you. I'm going to just put it out there. No pressure. Both you and Karina. Yeah, DM me either on Twitter or in the Discord, and I'll send you my link. Yes, Robo, I would love to have a coffee chat with you. First of all, do you know how specific it is to be both an occupational therapist and a software engineer? That's wild. It's like there's already not a lot of OTs. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. I literally can't wait to talk to you. CJ Dream said, Karina, we have the same background. I was a teacher and had mindfulness club for kids. Oh my God, me too, Karina. No, CJ Dreams. CJ Dreams, I used to have I'm a yoga teacher, and one of the things that I did as an OT is like do mindfulness for toddlers, and for teenagers, we had like another mindfulness self-regulation class. It was really fun. Robodom said, my brain goes through so many switches throughout the week. I can't believe that you're still doing it once a week. I'm still registered, but I'm no longer licensed in where I live anymore. I just didn't renew my licenses, and now I'm like, well, it's over with. All right, it's 6 o'clock. My butt is kind of numb. I'm going to stay in for about 5 more minutes with the last of y'all, just because this conversation is actually really interesting. And now y'all are talking about stuff that I'm like, this is cool. Liz said, Africa, I've been doing yoga for decades, and my Boo cat has his own yoga mat because he's Boo. Oh, that's so cute. Robo said, my dream is to leave entirely. Why is it not your reality? What's happening? We'll talk about it. The job market for front end devs is really trash right now, so I feel you. But for accessibility, it's kind of popping right now. I'm just saying, if you know what you're doing, you can honestly if you know how to code, you're an OT and you know accessibility, that's all I had under my belt when I first got my job. All you need is that one foot in the door. Kathy Code said, thanks for the stream. Gonna head to bed. Kathy, it's like 12 where you are, right? AM. Sheesh. Thank you for always hanging out with us. Robo said, you got me intrigued. Robo, listen, you're already a front end dev and you're an OT. Trust me when I say, when we have that coffee chat, yeah. I'm gonna tell you all about how to do it if you're interested, because it's kind of the same pay. I think engineers can make maybe a little bit more, but yeah. 11 p.m. Kathy. All right, Kathy, thanks for hanging out with us as usual. Alrighty, friends. It's about that time. It's dark outside. My voice is starting to get hoarse. My butt is numb. It has been so real hanging out with y'all. Thank you, as usual, for hanging out. Can't wait for my 2 new coffee chats I'm about to have. All right, my friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll be here next week. I will let you know if it's going to be Thursday or a different day. I think I'm going to end up just making it Thursday and hoping that the Congress of Library has another another happy hour sometime. Bye, Karina. So I'll see y'all soon. All right. Bye.